done yoga before, and you've certainly never done adaptive or chair yoga, a few things that you can have around to help you. Hopefully you've looked on the website and seen some of this. So I've got some yoga props here. First one is a strap. This is pretty easy to improvise. You can grab the dog leads, a tie, belt, a scarf, anything that you can tie. Second thing is a yoga brick, so-called, because it's brick-shaped. So this might be a bit less obvious. Don't use a natural brick, but a nice big chunky book, something like one of the old-fashioned dictionaries would work, one of those really big tomes, if you've got something like that. This is a yoga block. And I use this to go under my feet because I don't feel they're quite short, so I don't feel that my feet are really rooted onto the floor, so I place that under my feet. But again, look, here are some things you can improvise with. Nice big old hefty diary, that could go under your feet. As a brick, it's really the width you need, so that's just a DVD. I could put that in between my knees. So if you can find things that you can improvise with, go ahead and grab those and we'll get started. So, first of all, I'm going to take my strap and wrap that around my legs. Well, block underneath the feet, for those that want it. So your strap goes just below your knees. Some people prefer it around the ankles. You could do that as well. Just see what feels right. So it's going to help you keep the legs engaged and help keep that feeling of being really grounded. So there we go. And then my brick is going to go right in between the thighs, which I'm going to grip and adjust my strap. All right, so I can feel that my inside thighs are engaged. I can feel that I'm nicely rooted down into my sit bones. I can feel the inner thighs gently holding onto the block. And most importantly, my legs are supported by the strap and my feet are grounded and spread. And then I roll the shoulders back, and we're going to start with the breath, because for those of you that have done some yoga will know that 50% of your yoga is your breath. In India, they'd say that 90% of your yoga is your breath. And there's a beautiful saying by a yogi who I should remember, but can't, off the top of my head. If you can breathe, you can do yoga. Okay, so let's start just by equalizing the breath. So just check into your breath, the rhythm of your inhalation and the rhythm of your exhalation. And just check that rhythm, the rhythm of your inhale and your exhale are equal. Sounds obvious, you'd think there would be, but if you've been fraught or you're rushed, that's immediately reflected in your breath. So sometimes, quite often, stress people, they don't exhale fully. So let's really pay attention to that. If it helps you, you can do a little count. So you might count 3 on your inhale, and then equal length 3 on your exhale. And stay with that for a few more breaths. Now, after your next exhalation, I want you to just pause for a couple of seconds before you breathe in again. So you're going to inhale fully, exhale fully, and just count a little 1, 2 internally before you breathe in again. So you'll have a little pause on empty. Try that for a few rounds of breath. And as you have that little pause before you breathe in, just notice if anything arises. It might be that you notice that complete feeling of inner stillness. There's no noise, there's no inner noise on the pause. It might be that you become very aware almost of the air touching your skin in that little pause. There's no right or wrong, just see if anything pops up. Okay. And then let's come into the normal rhythm of breath again. So not worrying about pauses, just breathing in and out through the nose. And gently lower the eyes, and we'll just tune in to the spine and the physical sensations of being rooted into your chair. So your sit bones are nicely grounded. If you're barefoot, see if you could spread those toes out. Be aware of the length of your spine growing from between your sit bones. Vertebrae gently balanced on top of one another. Almost like drops of water, there is no tension in the spine. Or if you like, you can imagine a long line from the base of the spine growing and coming out of the top of your head as though you're suspended from a string and you're just held there. Good. And let's begin our practice today with some neck stretches, because we all, especially those of us that work on keyboards, get stuck in one position, get very tense in the neck and shoulders. So let's see if we can bring some freedom to that area. So relaxing your arms down, you're going to take a breath in and sweep your right arm up. And just take hold of the side of your head, gently draw your ear towards your shoulder. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, push away with your left arm. So as you push down, so you're trying to squash something down into the floor, you might be a little bit aware of a deeper stretch coming through the side of your neck. And then coming back to center with your head, turn your head and just take your nose down towards your outer thigh, almost like you're sniffing your own armpit. And then drop the chin down and again push away and see if you can feel the stretch down the left side of the back of your neck. And then drawing yourself back to center, release down. Same to the other side, inhaling that left arm up, exhaling, draw your head over to your shoulder. Push down and away with the other arm. Holding there for a couple of breaths. Note if anything different is in this side of the neck to the other. Quite often one side becomes more tense. Bring your head up, turn it a little to the diagonal, draw your nose down towards your own armpit, staying there. And then release that arm down. Let's move the neck through a bigger range of movement now. So breathe in, turn your head. And as you breathe out, drop it down to your chest. Take a breath in and exhale, recover. Don't think too much about the breath. Just go with the movement, turning the head, dropping it down. Just breathe naturally and come up. And your breath will guide you towards its right rhythm, dropping the chin down, come to center, lifting up, turn to the left, drop the chin, bring it to your chest, lift it back to center, and then take a breath in to lift up. Clasp your hands as you breathe out, bring your elbows forward. Breathe in. Now I want you to really sigh or exhale out now. Just go, oh. And sigh out through the mouth and drop your chin towards your chest. And just see what you feel. It can be quite intense at the back of the neck and into the upper back. And then gently carry your head back up and release the arms down. Good. Starting with your shoulder now. So right shoulder's going to pull back, up, drop it forward and draw a big shoulder roll. Back, up, forward and drop it down. One more. Back, up, forward, let it go. Bring your fingertips to your shoulder. Think about drawing the same circle with your elbow. It'll be your shoulder that does the work, but you think of a big circle with your right elbow, bring it forward, drop down. Opens the back a little bit, opening the front of the chest, comes up, comes forward, drop down. Exactly the same again. Draw it back, up, forward and down. Release your arm. Let's try and do the same full circle with the whole arm. So sweep it back. Just do what you can. If the shoulders are stiff, we'll get them looser, don't worry. And then spin your palm back. So your palm is up as it goes to the back. As it comes forward, your palms looking down to the floor. One last one. Spin it back. Lift it all the way up. Press it. And as it comes down, just take it over to your left thigh. Breathe in, staying there. Breathe out. Do a gentle twist around to the left. Breath in. And as you breathe out, to twist a little bit deeper if that's available to you. Sigh your breath out again. Breath in. Staying there, one more breath. And breathe in to come back to center. And we'll start with the other shoulder. So rolling it back, rolling it up, rolling it forward and down. Slow and juicy. Don't rush these. You really want to feel the movements of the upper arm in the shoulder socket. So it's the shoulder joint moving rather than your entire shoulder girdle. So we're isolating that movement. Fingertips to the shoulder. Drops down, drops back, comes up and does a circle. Elbow drops down, elbow goes back and away, comes up and forward. Last one, drops down, opens the back, lift up, come forward, release your arm, do the same thing. So your palm is up, lifting. Note how I'm trying to move my shoulder without my entire torso shifting around. I'm trying to isolate that movement in the shoulder joints. Bring it down. Last one, palm goes up, lifting up. And this one, you're going to take your arm over to your right leg, take a breath in and breathe out, gently turn. And remember on these twists, you can breathe out through your mouth. Just that, let the breath be free. Inhale. Exhale, twist around. Breathe in to come back to center. Breathe out, release your arms. Good. So again, we're going to move the shoulders up. And again, we're lifting now. We'll be lifting more of the shoulder girdle. So quick explanation. Your shoulder joint is this bit where your humerus bone, your upper arm bone, fits into the little socket that's formed. Your shoulder girdle is your collarbone, the top of your scapula, and the shoulder joints. So the whole thing together is the girdle. And what happens, because we get so tense with all this stuff that we do, driving, carrying things, that we start to lose that definition of being able to move at the shoulder joint. So the whole shoulder girdle becomes a bit like this. And instead of lifting just our arms, we end up lifting everything, right? Because we get stuck in one position on a mouse. So we're trying to get that movement, that independent movement of the shoulder joint back. So our necks become long again. Our breath works better because we're like this. Breath can't work properly. So here we go. This time, so we've moved our shoulder joints. Now we are going to move the whole shoulder girdle, but you're going to see if you can release some of the tension in it. So breathe in and shrug your shoulders up. Breathe out, go, drop them down. One more. Inhale. Exhale. And again, it's a good one to breathe out through the mouth on this. Inhale. Exhale, drop them down. Now stay down, keep breathing, and just imagine you could pull your shoulder blades down your back. So if you think of those triangular bones, imagine the point of the bones sliding down your back. Not pinching them together, they're just sliding down. So you're having to use muscles through here to really draw your shoulder blades down. And notice as the shoulder blades slide down and they stabilize on the spine, what happens to your chest and the front of your shoulders? It opens up. You've got more freedom. Okay. So from there, let's move on to the wrists. As again, with those that work on keyboards really suffer with this. Clasp your hands and just begin to circle and see if you can isolate the movement at the wrists without the shoulders becoming back to their old favourite position. Try and draw them down. And when you've done about 4 circles one way, switch your direction and just circle around. I'm noticing a few clicks and creaks because I've broken both my wrists in the past, so they're a bit grimy. Just see, but it feels nice to do it. Having done an equal amount, now just keep the fingers interlaced and push the hands away from you and open up the back of the wrists there. Release your fingers and draw your hands into prayer. I'm going to make it an active prayer position, so you push your hands against one another, take a couple of breaths there, and feel the activation of the muscles across your chest now. Good. Now you can relax your elbows so there'll be less pressure between your hands, and let's stretch the fingers back so you open up. Good. So if you've had your hands cramped up over typing or knitting or anything that makes them cramped, this will feel nice. And then keep the heels of your hands together. You can soften your fingers and just draw them into lotus flower position. This represents the petals of the lotus flower. Good. From there, can you bring them straight, bring the elbows together as though you're trying to make a little tray? Good. And from there, bring your little fingers together and just offer the palms forward and feel that stretch through the inside of the wrists. Taking hold of your right hand with your left, draw the hand back and see if you can get a little bit more of a stretch there. You might even use it to stretch the fingers too. Okay. And let's go to the other side. Take hold of the fingers, draw back, and feel the stretch, maybe going right up to the inside of your forearm. Lovely. Good. And then release. Let's go the other way. So take hold of your, closer to the thumb underneath the wrist, and just draw down and see if you can get that stretch over the front of the forearm, maybe even going down into the back of your hand. And then let's go the other way. And you can see on me this one's very restricted because my bones shifted around when I broke them. But it feels good to stretch it out. Lovely. Moving on to the fingers, draw each finger back, lengthen it. Ring finger, middle finger, index finger. Turn the hand around and gently stretch out the thumb, maybe giving a little massage along the inside there. Other hand, you've got your little left finger, your ring finger, your mid finger, index finger. You can see how my fingers naturally want to curl up. This is my dominant hand, so they just want to go back to what they're used to doing instead of opening out. And then a little massage for the thumb. Good. And then shake the hands out. Maybe circling the wrists a bit. Good. We're set to really move the whole arm now. We're going to go back to thinking about how we move our arms without lifting everything up. So take a breath in. Breathe out to draw down. Imagine you're making your fingers reach further towards the floor. Take a couple of breaths there, lengthening down from your armpit to your middle finger, drawing the shoulders down. If you can feel that lower belly, gently draw your belly button, your navel, back to your spine as you breathe out. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, just lift up a little way, part way. Imagine you've got a thin glass rod between each middle finger. So joining your two middle fingers so it's balanced, but not tense. Now, producing a little bit more effort, imagine you have two sea sponges underneath your arms, under your armpit, and you're going to squash the water out of them as you push down. Good. Breath in. Breath out, draw down again, armpits down to the middle fingers. You will lengthen this time. You're going to try and take the arms all the way up. Shoulder height. Notice, do you feel like you want to lift your whole shoulder girdle? If you do, consciously draw those shoulder blades down your back. Not pinching them, just drawing down. Breath in. Hold there if you can. Breathe out. Imagine you're pushing two giant beach balls down into the floor with your upper arms. Feel those back muscles engage. It might start to feel a little bit tiring now. Breath in. And on the next breath out again, squashing the sponges in your armpits. Good. All right, breath in. Again, as you breathe out, lengthen the arms down. This time as you inhale, you're going to come past shoulder height. The palms are going to look up. And you go up as high as you can without lifting the shoulder girdle. So you can pull it down. It might be you can lift your arms all the way up. But if you feel this, separate them. Maybe come to a wide V. Come to where you can still feel that your shoulder blades are drawing down. Your neck is quite free. Everything is okay. Breath in. Breath out. Good. Breath in. And breath out. We're going to bring the hands down the middle, back to our prayer position. And this time a little bit of a higher press. So your thumbs will probably be level with your chin. Your elbows are going to lift, so your upper arms parallel to the floor. Press there. Come on, push. Breath in. Breathe out. Push your palms together. Feel the activation of the muscles across your chest. Breath in. Breath out. Push. Good. One more. Breath in. Breath out. Push the hands together. Good. Breath in. Breath out. Softer now. Bring your elbows together. They're going to be level with your shoulders. And just drop your head forward and stay there for a couple of breaths. Notice what's happening across your shoulders. Are they opening up a bit? And then inhale, lift the elbows back up, head comes up. I'm just going to swivel a little bit around so you can see what's happening. Breath in, breath out. So I'm not dropping here, I'm just going, bringing my elbows together, dropping my chin down. So I get more of a stretch at the back of my neck and between my shoulder blades. Good. Inhale to come up. Last one. Exhale. And again, stay there. Couple of breaths. Try and keep those upper arms up. I'm going to come back to the front. And then inhale to come up. And exhale, keep the palms pressed together, twist around towards the right side. Breath in and breathe out. Breath in to come back to center. Breath out. Be aware, can you shift your ribs around without swiveling your bottom on the chair? So it's something called disassociated rotation. Your ribs are moving without you having to move your whole spine. Come back to center. Let's do one more each side. Inhale. Exhale. To turn around. Inhale. Exhale to stay. Last one. Inhale back to center. Exhale to turn around. Inhale to stay. Exhale. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale, release your arms down. They might be feeling like they've worked a bit now, so roll the shoulders, dance it out. All right, now I'm going to take my block away, so whatever you're using as a block, or your DVD or anything, a nice big book if you've got something a bit heavier, grab that. This is a little bit more effort. Take your palms beside it, press them in. Take a breath in. Breathe out, pull the shoulders down, and breathe in. Can you lift your block up shoulder height? Again, if you can, you might want to grip it, but if you can hold it just with the palms, it activates a little bit more down the arms. At the same time, try and push your legs into your strap. Good, breath in. Breath out to hold. Breath in. Bring it as high as you can. Whatever you do, don't drop it. Hold it there. Your arms will be slightly in front of your ears. We don't want to go too far back because, again, the hunching happens. So keep your palms pressed in. Pull the shoulder blades down. Draw the belly in. Hold a couple more breaths. And then lower. If you can bring your arms down straight, amazing. It takes quite a lot of effort. If not, just bend your elbows and relax. We're going to do that one more time. It is a little bit more effort. You might find your arms don't go all the way up. Do what you can. It's all benefit. Yeah, there's no judgment in yoga. That's the beauty of it. It's not a one-size-fits-all. Here we go. Not at all. So just go with what you can do. Inhaling, lift the arms if you can, up to shoulder height. Keep pushing the palms against your block, your brick, your book. Good. And through the next couple of breaths, float those arms overhead, trying as hard as you can to keep your shoulders down. Keep pushing the palms into the brick. Really good. Breath in. Breathing out. Draw the shoulders down. Maybe just release the neck a bit. See if any tension's built up there. Good. Excellent. And then either bend the elbows to come down, or if you can, with supreme effort, lower it with control, drawing the belly button back. That will really help stabilize you. Bring the block down. And you can let it go down to the floor. Nice. Good. All right. Rolling the shoulders again. Let's start moving the whole torso a little bit more. Moving into side bends. Breathe in to lift your right arm up. As you breathe out, go up and over as though you're painting an arc on the ceiling with your fingers. Inhale, paint the arc back. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Exhale. So you can see I'm using the inhalations to create space in the torso. Inhale to lift as though I'm drawing my ribs away. Exhale to fold over. Again, on the inhale, I try and get even more height. And exhale down. Same again. Inhale to lift. Exhale to go over. Good. Inhale up. Exhale to come down. Feel the space being created through the whole torso. Inhale, lift. Hold on to your chair. Make sure your ground is still through both sit bones. Inhale. Lifting up. Going to move on a little bit with this and add something. Inhale. Exhale. Now, turn to face your diagonal. Imagine you're looking at somebody and you're trying to reach for their hand at the same time they're reaching for you. You grab hands and then he or she has to pull away and you have to pull away, so you curve your spine but keep hold. And this will pull out the muscles behind your right shoulder. And then on your next breath in, just release. Breathe the arm out and come down. Other side. Inhale to lift. Exhale to go over. Turn towards the diagonal. grip that person's hand, you hold on, and you have to pull away from each other. So somebody's pulling them back, somebody's pulling you back. Roll that, let that left shoulder blade open. And then inhale to come out. Exhale to go down. Same but difference. That makes sense, doesn't it? Inhale up. Exhale to go. Same reach to the diagonal. Exhale, curve. Leave your fingers free this time. Curve your other hand underneath and just give yourself a hug. So the back will round here. Let it open between the shoulders. Breathe in to come up. You've still got your right elbow on top of your left. Can you release the arms? This is a classic yoga pose called Garudasana, eagle wings. So you might have your hands here. Next stage is backs of the hands together. Next stage is palms together. Breath in, lift the elbows up. Breath out, pull the shoulders down. Drop the head again. Breath in. And as you breathe out, turn a little way to your left. Just a tiny bit. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale, center. Exhale, go a little bit to the right. Head still drop forward. You can see my neck's free. The space in my upper back is opening. And then breathe in to reach the arms out. It's quite a freeing pose. Eagle wings. Inhale up to the other side. Exhale to tip. Reach around to that diagonal again and again. You can curve your back into a C shape. Wrap in and hug. So left arm on top. And try and hold the shoulders and draw the shoulders down as you give yourself that hug. And then coming up. Left elbow still on top. First stage is here. Second stage you can get there. Backs of the hands together. Or if your palms can meet, great. But don't force it. If you've got a lot of muscle, especially chest muscle, it's much harder to do this. And then exhale, drop the head. And turn a little way to your right. Take a breath in. And a breath out. Breathe in to come back. Breathe out. Oh. And then again on a breath in, free your arms up, drop them down, shake it out again. Really, really good. Excellent, guys. Now we're going to move on to another classic yoga pose called Trikhanasana, means triangle. If you have another little chair you could rest on here, or a stool, perfect. Yeah. If you've got a chair with a back, it's even better. I don't have an extra one here. Then you can put the back of the chair underneath the arm, which is a really lovely way to go. Or just something you can rest on. If not, just go with me and do a little tilt, but make sure you stay super, super grounded here. Yeah, we don't want anybody flying off to the side. So breathing in, we go back to take the arms up. Palms are down. Breathe out, just tip over and away. Tilt your way down. There's your triangle. Good. Breath in. Breathe out. If you can, look up to your top hand. Breathe in to look to center. Breathe out, look to the bottom hand. Alternative, guys, again, you could hold onto the side of your chair, or you could just take the arm over and go in an even deeper stretch. So stay with what you want. I'm feeling that today. That feels nice. Nice and open. And then breathe in to come up. And breathe out. We'll relax the arms before we do the other side. Good. Okay, here we go again. Exhaling, draw down. I love that because it roots the shoulder blades, doesn't it? Inhale to lift. Exhale, tip your way over. Find where you are. Hopefully you've had somebody who's kindly moved your chair over to the other side. Good. Reaching away. Again, you could inhale, turn the head up, maybe even turning the palms. Exhale, head center. And down. Couple more breaths. And when you come up, try and lift from underneath your belly if you're able to activate your lower abdominals. I know that some people won't be able to, but if you are, then that's a really good way of stabilising yourself and still building some core stability, even though you're sitting down. Okay, so the last thing where we're going to move the whole spine is a thing called cow and cat. And again, I'm going to slightly turn on the diagonal so you can see I've come off my brick. And I'm going to arch my spine so the whole spine moves, and then I'm going to curve it. So as I arch, that's the cow, so it represents the arch back of a cow. Yeah? As I curve, fairly obviously a frightened cat or an angry cat. Yeah? So try and get, it might be you can only do the upper body, try and get as much of your spine to move as you can. In an ideal world, when you do your cat, your tailbone's going to pull down as you push back. Yeah? So, and it goes on the breath, needless to say, the breath is very important on this one. So as you breathe in, start to arch the back into your cow pose. You might have the arms out to the side here. Exhale, pull your belly button back, your tailbone under, ribs down, drop your head last of all. Start from the base of your spine, inhale, let that travel up to take yourself into cow pose. Don't chuck the head back, so that will strain your neck. Exhale, tailbone down, belly button back, ribs soften, close the chest. Just let it soften, not hunch it. 2 more, guys. Inhale. This is one of the best awakening stretches you can do. Exhale, curve. And if you're really curving, and you can access this lower part of the body, you'll really feel the abs working a little bit. Last one. Inhale, ripple from your base through the mid-back ribs, upper back, chest opens. Exhale, tailbone comes down, pelvis rolls under, belly button goes back, ribs soften, front of the chest just softens. And then from there, inhale up to straight, but you're going to do it from the base, growing up the spine as though you're trying to build your vertebra one on top of the other until you come back to that super straight position. Good. Let's just do that cat one more time and do the build up to straight rather than into cow. And really see if you can feel that you're beginning to stack those vertebrae into that lovely long effortless line. So just round your back for me again. Pull the pelvis under if you can, or just let the top. And if you can, lift from the base of the spine. So lift the base. Start to bring your lumbar vertebrae into alignment. Start to balance the vertebra that are by the ribs into alignment, and just balance your head on your shoulders. Drop the shoulders down, let everything be open here, and go back to that image of the line going out of the top of your head. Good. All right. From here, guys, if you've got your strap, you can take yourself out of this. This is a pose I know won't be accessible to everybody. If you are able to do it, give it a whirl. You can leave the loop in your strap, or you can take it out. So if you've got a scarf that you've knotted, it's probably best to just release this. Should have one already done, shouldn't I? Here's one I had earlier, but I haven't. So I've got my strap. I'm going to take the strap around my foot. Now, if you've got something you can balance it on, again, if you had that small stool for triangle, you could stick it underneath your foot here. So you would rest your foot on something. You can do it without, as I'm doing here, because I don't have any extra chairs. And just draw back and see if you can lift your spine as you flex your foot. If you can get the legs straight, that would be absolutely amazing. Good. As you flex your foot, that means drawing your toes back. You might start to feel something in your calf. Draw the shoulders back, root down through your other foot, holding there. Good. And gently release down. Let's take it to the other side. So again, I know that's not a stretch that's available to everybody, but if you can do it, or if you can get somebody to help you to lift your leg onto a little stool, even onto the brick, like that would work. That's actually a really lovely thing to do. So it doesn't have to be high. If you want to lift it a bit more, you can, but just resting here is also a really nice option. Couple more breaths. And release down. And let's come back to our grounded position, no props now. And we're going to finish with a short meditation on the breath. So, meditation on the natural breath is one of the oldest meditation techniques there are. This literally dates back thousands of years and has been handed down orally through the generations from the Buddha, from some of the ancient yogis. And the reason we meditate on the breath is that it's completely neutral. We can't form any attachment to it. So all we do, we're going to close our eyes and observe the breath going in and the breath coming out. So the focus of your mind is going to remain at the entrance of the nostrils. Sounds simple, doesn't it? It's actually not, because our minds are very busy things. But we're going to give it a whirl, and even if you just observe a few breaths, it brings massive benefits in bringing space back to the mind. Okay, so let's start. Lower or preferably close your eyes. And just begin to focus the breath. Focus the mind, rather, on the entrance of the nostrils. And see if you can feel the touch of the air as it enters your nostrils, touch of the breath going in, touch of the breath coming out. And just stay with that. Calm and quiet mind. And to help you with this, start to count your breaths. If you're doing a very long inhale, you might count 1, 1 on the way in, and 1, 1 on the way out. And then the same with 2. If your breath is not as deep and there's no right or wrong, actually as we relax into it, the breath becomes naturally shallower. It's enough just to count 1 in on the inhale and on the exhale. And as you're counting your breaths, just come up to a count of 10 and then go back to 1 again. So we don't go into a sort of white wall effect of just counting without observing. So you're still observing, although you're counting as well. And if your mind goes wandering off, don't be hard on yourself. Don't try to win it back. Just accept it. It's the habit pattern of the mind because it's living always in the future or the past. It's very rarely in the present. So by just bringing it back, inviting it gently back to watch the breath, you're bringing it absolutely into the present. We cannot form an attachment to a past breath or look forward to a future one. It's just there with us. So observing each breath as it happens. Notice if the breath is changing as it becomes shallower and softer. So sometimes it's barely perceptible, but obviously still with us. If your mind is racing off on different trajectories, just help to bring it back to the breath by taking a few very deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Good. Well done. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale fully. Maybe next time we'll do a longer one, but good for today. We're going to bring our hands together to close our practice today and take 3 long Oms. I'm doing this at the end of all my classes at the moment, and I'm making my first Om for all those who are sick, not just with the virus, but with other conditions, who may be scared or frightened at the moment. Second Om is for everyone who's been bereaved, the souls we've lost, but those that are living with that loss. And the third Om will send our wishes out to all the amazing people that care for us, and not only them, our key workers, who we're super grateful for. And from now on, I hope that we take more care of and thank in our day-to-day lives for the simple jobs that they sometimes do, the super vital jobs that we've realised we cannot live without these people. Always be kind. Taking a deep breath in. Inhaling. Namaste. Thank you all for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, goodbye.